And you're live, Steve. You are literally live right now to a few people. So here's the instructions. We've got a bunch of things for you to tell people what we did. Basically, you're gonna answer people's questions, and I'm gonna go home.
Yeah,
What? No, wait.
Tax got to edit.
Yeah.
This is just because you weren't able to be there for that awesome stream that took us 17 and a half hours.
Wait a second.
There's no waiting. Congratulations on your promotion. The list of duties is on the back of that sheet. Good luck.
There's like 4 things written on this. That's not really fair. I thought this was like a group thing. You said come for a live stream. Tack. Oh, crap. Okay, where's the mouse? Oh, 1 second, guys. Nick's a jerk. Okay, well, I guess I have to now entertain you for... How long is this supposed to go for? Holy crap! Okay, let's go. So, here it is. It was 17 hours, Nick, not 17.5 hours. Well, Nick's gone now. We are live. Hi, everybody. This is Space Marine Steve from playon Tabletop, and I am excited to be here. I'm confused, but I am excited. So, now that I'm both confused and excited, this is what I was told is like an ask me anything kind of thing. So, I'm just going to start going into the chat, and we're going to start talking a little bit. I'm going to tell you a little bit of what's going on with playon. I've been given a list of things to talk about, things that are coming up. So I'm going to answer some questions first, and then after that, I'm going to go over some stuff that we have here. We'll just have a good conversation. Package dice. Oh, I have to package dice too. So this is all of the Steve Touch dice. They're all right here. So what I have to do is I have to package the dice to make sure that they all get sent off, and I have to make sure that I've amply touched them. And so, just so it doesn't get weird, I'll just use my hands to touch them. And I'll roll them around a little bit, and away we go. Okay, cool. So, let's do this. Steve, what Primarch would you be? Oh man, pre-heresy? Oh, I don't know. I think I would.
We need to still write things on them. Don't close them yet. Sorry, now I'm going. 5. Oh, look.
Okay, I won't close them. Well, this one I've already started. This. I'm just ruining it. What Primarch would I be pre-heresy? Let's do that. So I would probably be Dorn. Dorn was kind of awesome in a bunch of different ways, and I think that Dorn is like he was like just it was as steady as a beating drum, and the Imperial Fists were like a very cool chapter, and they had that giant floating fortress as their like monastery. I loved it, and he also had a really slick haircut. It was just very box-like and cool. So I don't know, I dug it. So Steve, if you were forced to play Xenos, what faction is yours? Orcs. Probably orcs, because they're so silly, just like me. Steve, what's your favorite means of purging Xenos models from the board? Bolt guns, without question. Like, why are you even asking that? Steve, when will Mubin be on? Damn it, Mubin! I don't know when he's going to be on next. There's too many questions. Do you love us, Steve? Of course I love you. And because of that, I am going to package more of my touch dice. Yes, excellent. Okay, great. So where are the bags? Oh, the bags. They're right here. There's, sure, it's fine. Okay, anyways, so how would you, Steve, how am I doing? You know what, I'm doing okay. I'm really busy, really busy. TAC doesn't really let us have breaks, so it's kind of just all the time. There's no dinner breaks, they're all sticking together. There's no dinner breaks, there's really no, he gets mad when I turn stuff into puppets. Anyways, so Steve, this isn't a Warhammer question, but do you teach as a day job? I do teach as a day job. I teach 5 days a week. I teach performing arts. It's awesome. And my kids are doing really awesome stuff right now. We're working a lot with a bunch of different theatrical elements, and it's sweet. I love teaching performing arts. It's my passion. I went to university for it. Love every minute of it. Here we go. Man, just keep throwing the questions, I guess. Opinion on the balanced data slate. That is a tough one. So the balanced data slate, the newest one that just came out, has Necrons, and it had some Space Marine stuff, and it talked a lot about like Harleys and Nids and stuff like that, which I think it was all positive for the most part. And the thing is sometimes it always just feels like they hit some stuff right on the nose, and then sometimes they don't. And I feel like a little bit, I feel like I know I'm stumbling over my words here because it's hard to find the right things. Like, I feel like sometimes they overreact to things, and I feel like sometimes they underreact, and sometimes it feels like the decisions they make are weirdly out of touch with whatever it is that you are experiencing, right? So we all experience this game like really differently. All of us sometimes, like when you're playing in a very closed, I'm going to call it a closed meta, but like you and your friends all play together, and you know one of your buddies is like undefeated for long periods of time, and you're like, oh, the game is so broken. Well, it might not be. It might just be within your little mini meta, right? And then someone will make a choice, and it'll go on a data slate. You will read that data slate and be like, why was that changed? I don't understand. Well, it's because outside of your mini meta, all of this stuff has been going on. Or if you have been attending like larger events and you see things in the grander meta, some of those things make sense. So it's really hard to say sometimes. Like, is the data slate really positive? Yes, because I remember a time where GW just did nothing. They did nothing all the time, and it was so agitating. So I'm definitely so thankful that even though I may not agree with everything Games Workshop does, or feel like it's enough, or sometimes I feel like it's too much, or whatever, I'm so thankful that they actually are paying attention, and it seems like they're trying. So that is a really positive thing, and you want the makers of the game to be, we want the makers of the game to actually be involved. So that's a big positive thing. So I'm going to go back to the chat here a second. Let's say, Steve, do you know the most amount of ones you rolled in a single roll before? Yes, it was 12. I rolled 15 dice and 12 ones. The other ones were like 5s and 6s, but it didn't matter. The opponent and we both looked at one another, and he was like, I'm so sorry. There was like an awkward pause because I like threw them all, looked down, and then he looked down, and then we both looked up at the same time. And it was like this comedy thing. He's like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, damn it. And I picked up all my like Terminators, and then that was that. So yeah. So let's talk a little bit about some of the successes we've had with the Level Up campaign, because the Level Up campaign has been absolutely fantastic to help us literally level up. And so we have had such success that, oh, thank you, Dr. Rhino. I just saw that right now. We've had, I'll get to your question in just a second, Dr. Rhino, but we've had such success in both the streams and the actual campaign itself that we're going to do a couple of things. First, Chaos Space Marine Steve and Space Marine Steve is going to happen. That is right, 100% it is going to happen. I am going to somehow, and Nick hasn't figured this out yet, and I'm going to imagine that it's going to be Nick's responsibility, but Nick has not figured it 100% out how it's going to work, but I am going to play myself in an episode of 40K in 40 minutes, and it's going to be Chaos Space Marine Steve versus Space Marine Steve. It's going to be very cool. So that's kind of like the first like tier of reward. We're actually going to figure out how to film that game. So it's going to happen. I'm very excited. So Steve, this is from Dr. Rhino in Super Chat. Thank you so much for donating towards the channel. We all very much appreciate it. It helps us keep the lights on. Steve, what do you have to say to my dad in advance of next year's American versus Canadian Space Marine Steve fight? Is that happening? Was that something I didn't think that was going to take place. Tack! He's gone. So now that he's totally gone, do I have anything to say? Steve, bring it on. I think that's the number one thing. Steve, bring it on. I think that's the number one. So I'm excited to see how that's gonna. What does Steve play? I'm excited to know. If it's Space Marines, then I mean, who knows? But I have nothing really to say other than bring it on. This is gonna be a great game. Steve on Steve action. It's gonna be good. So Steve, in your opinion, is cereal a soup? I don't know. Is cereal a soup? No. Cereal is not a soup, I don't think, because I believe soup should be like cooked and boiled in its own pot. And so I think that like it's the culmination of all those things together that make it a soup, I think. And so a cereal is really just like, you know, it's just like milk poured over breakfast grains. This is really bad. I don't know what I'm saying. But I don't think so. I strongly doubt it, actually. I really do. So, yeah. Okie dokie. So, additionally, in our streams, this is actually a pretty big deal. So we are committing 100% because of how well our streams did to one episode of Age of Sigmar. So we are going to give Age of Sigmar the same kind of love that 40K and 40M gets, and you are going to get an edited down, ready to rock and roll, and incredibly cinematic game of Age of Sigmar. So if you're excited about Age of Sigmar, it's coming. I don't know when. I can't make any kind of promises. I was told sort of on my way in to never make any promises on this stream or whatever, but this one, because it's totally out of my realm, I probably shouldn't make any promises. There's some I probably will just start promising. I should start putting dice in more bags is what I should do, because I'm sure I don't know where he is, but I'm sure Tack is right now thinking to himself, Steve is not bagging anywhere near enough dice. So we're just going to continue. Yeah, so let's get back to it. Does the Armor of Contempt rule need work? Oh, that is a loaded question, Dustin. That's a super loaded question. Oh, that was bad. I don't know who you are, but you are in for it now. That's that. Does the Armor of Contempt rule need work? I mean, sort of, yes. The Armor of Contempt was a rule that was created to try and fix the fact that things with power armor, like, we're not living anywhere near long enough. And so they brought everything up in AP and then kind of realized that all of the armies that had that power armor, like, were somehow ineffective and they didn't live as long as they were supposed to. And so to give them the staying power that they needed, they created Armor of Contempt, which did in fact work. That also wasn't phenomenal. And what's that?
And also, in the next 40K and 40M,
so
don't watch a particular alternate player absolutely abuse Armor of Contempt.
Just abuse Armor of Contempt?
Absolutely abuse.
Is it you abusing Armor of Contempt? How did you abuse Armor of Contempt? No, come back here.
It's glorious.
It's glorious. That doesn't give me any answers. How do you do it?
Huh?
That doesn't give me answers. Oh, fine. You're not going to talk about
I
it.
did the thing that you'll never do.
What?
What units will you never feel that all 2-ups?
What?
There are particular T7 units in Ultramarines that
Yeah.
perform really well.
Yeah, totally.
That you'll never feel. The T7, 14 wounds with a 2-up and Armor of Contempt. What unit is that?
I don't know. Is it a Forge World unit?
They're all 14.
Oh, they're all Forge World units. I roll. Forge World units. Okay, anyways, does Armor of Contempt require... I see, by the way, I see your question about the Rogel Dorn tank, and I'm going to get right there, okay? So, does Armor of Contempt need work? I think the game sort of needs a little bit of work. I don't think it needs to go through like a whole reset or anything like that. We don't need to wheel backwards or anything. I don't know. But I do think a little bit we just need to get to a place where everyone's kind of in the same winning percentages. and we need to kind of get to a place where, we are nobody feels like they're totally outmatched, and I think that is super important. And so right now there are definitely matchups where, as a Space Marine player, I feel incredibly outmatched, even with Armor of Contempt. And then there's also some interactions where Armor of Contempt feels like it shouldn't work the way that it does, or some units shouldn't get it, or they don't need it, or whatever. And so there are some disproportionate things in there. Do I think it needs a full rework? No. Is there some places where I think we could put in some targeted assistance? Yes. So it's kind of like a 50-50 for me. Alrighty, so Rogel Dorn tank. Is that Rogel Dorn tank awesome? I mean, yes, the Rogel Dorn tank is awesome. Do I think it's maybe too awesome? Perhaps. Toughness 9 with we don't know what it is. I imagine it's toughness 9. The Land Raider and Chaos is toughness 9. This one's probably toughness 9, I imagine, just because it's new. I don't actually know. Hopefully it's T8. I'm going to swing with hopefully it's T8. It's bristling with guns, just bristling with them. So, like from the pictures that I saw, it's also gigantic. It's huge. So, I'm excited to see a stat line. I hope that they maybe don't kick it over the edge and they keep it kind of reasonable and make it fun to play. That's what I'm hoping. So, been sub since the later part of Season 1 in 40K and 40M. Love the content we produce. Thank you so much, Gutsy, for the Space Marine Steve versus Chaos Space Marine Steve. I believe in Steve. I believe in Steve. Yes, I too believe in Steve. I don't think anybody else really believes in Steve, though. Not here in the studio, anyways. I think they're all snickering as they left, thinking I wouldn't be able to actually keep up this live stream, but it's actually working okay. So, hey, that's positive. I'm pumped about that. All right, so Carter, Edgar, what would your advice be for someone starting to date? Oh, that's a question I've never gotten before. What would your advice for someone starting to date? Well, I think you got two options. One, you either start talking about Warhammer immediately and gauge exactly what they say or what the response is, or you hide the Warhammer for a little while, ease them into it. So you can decide what you want there. I'm kidding. The number one thing that I say to anybody who's just starting to date is be yourself, be honest, and you know what? Don't compromise on the things that you want and that you're looking for, right? If you want and like certain things, then go for those certain things. Additionally, and this one I think is important, remember that you're friends, right? Aside from everything, this person that you're with, you want them to be like your best friend, right? So find someone you can really hang out with, laugh with, and have really positive and fun-filled times with, and I think you're going to be great. So that would be my advice. Just take it easy and find a really good friend. Alrighty, let's continue on. William, how much have we raised so far? Did we hit the dream goal? No, we haven't hit the dream goal yet. However, we have hit $100,000 in the Muse on Mini store, which is awesome. We are already gearing up to do some great work. So hold on, okay, that was okay. This one's okay. So we're already gearing up to do some great work in the studio. And we haven't hit the dream yet. However, we've definitely hit everything we need for the fix. And we're already gearing up to do some fantastic work. We have, though, kind of made the decision. And unfortunately, so these dice are Steve Touch dice. And we have other non-Steve Touch dice. But we are officially out of dice. I think we do have a little bit more of the Steve Touch dice that will be added to the store a little bit later. But for the regular dice, we are cold out of them. It's just not happening. And so with that being said, we do have dice coming. We do have dice coming, but they will not make it for the campaign. But I can confirm that we have talked to Muse on Minis, and they are actually going to become our merchandise store for the future. So when you want all this, when that happens, if you want to just buy it from the store after the campaign is over. I can't say exactly when that whole process is going to open wide up for just regular sales. However, it is coming. It will come soon. So thank you so much for all your support, William. We really appreciate it. Okay, let's get back to this chat. Tag is forcing him to touch dice and talk. That's exactly what's happening. Tag is forcing me to touch dice and talk, which I needed to do anyways. So I need to ensure that I spread this love around a little bit. Sorry about how loud that is next to the microphone. That one wasn't bad, actually. That one I had just there wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. So there's one in there. There's one in here that was like all 1s and 2s. So there's a real toxic one headed to somebody. So we'll see who gets that one. We'll see. I don't force, well, no, he does. Let's be real. He totally does. So, alrighty, let's get to it. So Steve, as a fellow teacher, hey, fellow teacher, how do you balance your work life, private life, and hobby life? You know what? I'm also taking my master's right now, so I'm a very busy dude. And honestly, I think that when you're like in university, professors always talk to you about like finding balance, right, in your time, balance your time between, work, school, social life, self-care, et cetera, right? So, however, when you live a really busy life, like for those of us that work in jobs that are just very, very demanding, right? For those of us that maybe just have a hectic personal life or whatever, and you're thinking to yourself, like, man, like, how am I going to achieve balance? There's a really harsh truth. You're not going to achieve balance. It's just not going to happen, okay? However, instead of trying to balance your time, what I have found the most effective is achieving quality time. So I schedule in time where, all right, if I'm working on a hobby project, right, I want to spend 2 quality hours working on that project, and I block out that time, and that's what I'm doing for that time, right? So I sit down and I do it, and that's what I work on, right? If I'm taking my wife on a date, for example, right? If I'm taking my wife on a date, like, my phone goes away. I don't look at YouTube. I don't look at social media or Discord. All of that goes away, and I focus my time on my wife. So that's what I would suggest. So if you're trying to balance all of this, instead of trying to achieve balance, achieve quality. And you'll feel like you have balance, even if the time isn't always what you wish you could dedicate. So that would be my advice. That would be my advice. Alrighty, so here we go. So, and I'm sorry, by the way, there's so many questions in the chat. It's really hard for me to get to them all. I did see one a little while ago, where do babies come from? This is a family show, so I think I'm not going to get into any kind of graphic detail, and I don't want to. But I'm pretty sure you could probably Google it or watch some Animal Planet, or you could just just figure it out. Like you can Google it, and I'm sure Google will give you all the answers. There is a lot of ones in that one. This one's bright. Woo! Into this bag it goes. Bad stuff. Oh my. Okay, great. Kill Team Challenger, when I volunteer. Kill Team Challenger, here's the deal with Kill Team. So Kill Team Challenger has kind of gone, Kill Team Challenger has just morphed and changed. So here at Play on Tabletop, whenever we have any of our shows, any of our products, we do retrospectives and we think it through, and we always gun for what we think the show will be when it's the most successful, right? And you know what? Kill Team Challenger had a lot of really great moments, and it also had some setbacks. And we also experimented a lot with where we were going to place our cameras in studio and how we were going to film it, how we were going to edit it, et cetera, et cetera. And honestly, like the way that we're doing Kill Team now with the Kill Team Octarius series is so much more cinematic and so much more narrative. And we got like a really killer graphics package together. Thank you, TAC, again for that graphics package. And thank you, Nick, like our director of photography here, and our, I guess, lead producer too. Like, you know, we really worked together collaboratively, Nick and I, to put together a show that we thought was really strong. And so please, if you haven't seen them yet, we just dropped another Kill Team episode today, I believe. And then we have 2 more from the Octarius series. And we have some more coming out in the Army Painter. They sponsored it, and it has been just absolutely awesome. So I'm really happy with the way that it goes. And yes, Challenger is it like has some challenge elements in there still. But you know what? Things change, and we all just have to kind of move along. But we are really proud of the work that we're doing, and I hope that you enjoy it. Alrighty, so mascots. Oh, is TAC talking about how my presidency is very simply just like a mascot kind of? Well, we'll see about that. Maybe I can like, maybe just maybe I will pull some strings he didn't think were there, and oh, Ben, no credit for me. Ben, come on now. You know you're number one in my heart. Ben is bringing this up because he's the main editor on Kill Team, and he actually does do an incredible job. I'm sorry, Ben. I didn't mean to forget you. I'm trying to roll dice, and I'm looking at the screen, and there's things everywhere, and I've dropped one of the dice. So, anyways, Ben, you live forever in my heart, and you're doing a stellar job on Kill Team. I'm sure everyone in the chat can attest that. If we could get a group shout out for Ben editing Kill Team, he really is killing it. So, yeah. Alrighty, let's go. Anyone know when the dice trays will ship out? They'll ship out soon, I think. Yeah, Steve is a quality answer giver, not a quantity. Get out of town. I'm trying my best to answer the questions as best I can. Silly Ben, editors don't get credit. Hilarious. Yes, they do. Here we give our editors credit. Question: will we ever see Titanicus game on playon? Ooh, that's a good idea. Actually, Titanicus game, that is a fun game too, and the Titanicus models are awesome. So, I mean, maybe. I hope so. I'll bring it up. Ooh, I love a TTS tournament with play on tabletop. Oh, maybe. I don't know. We love our models in real life. We love TTS too. I don't know. We'll see. Probably. That one's a tough one. Which AOS army would you play if I had to pick? If I had to pick an AOS army right now, today, Stormcast Eternals seems like the choice, I suppose. However, AOS does have a lot of really wicked armies. Skaven is sweet. I actually really like the Sylvaneth. Sylvaneth are really cool too. As I know it's a little elvish, but you know, what are you gonna do? All right, so Wizards first rule. Thank you so much for the super chat donation. I really appreciate that. Steve, what kill team looks more fun, the Imperial Navy Breachers or Karskin? I like the Breachers. The Breachers are sweet. I think that looks more fun, so I'm into that. And this, whoa, yeah, it's mostly 6s. This was a good one. I've ruined it, but this was a good one. Okay, I would like some advice as someone wanting to get into the game. Hey, Jay, I want to follow the rule of cool and collect a Tyranid army, but they look so expensive and hard to paint. Any advice for? You know what? I think that they are so expensive and hard to paint. Okay, models are expensive. Things that I would suggest to try and get around that. In your area, if they have like local trading and buy and sell sites, you could get a few on the cheap by buying them secondhand. That's what I used to do when I first started playing. And I found that it was awesome. So, you know, it was a great way to kind of get started. If you want to buy brand new and that's what's available to you, that's okay. My advice would be to take it slow. You know, buy the Combat Patrol for Tyranids, which it does have a fair amount of models in it. Buy the Combat Patrol, build it, paint it, practice, and do that. And honestly, like the slower you take it, the more work that you put into getting, you know, the paints on the model, and you kind of attack it without fear, right? Don't think, oh, I'm not going to be good enough, so I just won't paint them. Nope, like get in there, paint them, have at it, because the more you paint, the better you'll get. Yes, the models are expensive, but they are meant to be played with, they are meant to be painted, they are meant to be used. So the more you do that, the better it will all become. Well, that was pretty average. That was pretty good. Okay, great. So I'm gonna go to this next super chat here. Steven, hey, what's up, buddy? So of all the models and paint jobs behind you, which is your favorite? Which is my favorite? So actually I'll tell you a really fun, so Tack is incredible at painting Ultramarines. He has a very beautiful Ultramarines army. And I am the most happy with some of my Ultramarines, especially from the Tomb World series. So if you're a YouTube member, you can go onto YouTube membership, find all the Tomb World videos and watch them. But I played Ultramarines there. And Nick actually ruined Tax Day and made mine by looking at a suppressor that I painted and a suppressor that he painted. And what he said still haunts Tack to this day. What he said was, I can't tell the difference. And the second that Nick said that, I felt incredible. And so I've been trying really, really hard to up my painting skills and to see that, you know, other people are taking notice is the best. So my Ultramarines, because I think they represent a lot of the growth that I've come through and experienced as a painter. Yeah. Alrighty, so let's go to the chat. Steve, we need a pub trivia rematch with you and Moobin. Yeah, maybe. That was a lot of fun, actually, so we can do that. Hey, Steve, will we see the Community Deathwatch Army again? You know what? That Community Deathwatch Army that was done through our patrons. So our patrons, they created this Community Deathwatch Army for us. It's back here. I think it's right here. Yep. Right there. And all of them are gorgeous. We're so humbled by the fact that you wanted to do this. Now, this army is going to be here forever. And we are going to be playing it at least once or twice every single season. We're going to try and put it into campaigns. We're going to do what we can do. So, awesome. I'm very, very, very excited. Okay. Steve, if you were forced to play Adeptus Mechanicus against your last army, what would your army consist of? Ooh. That's a good question. Steve, if you were forced to play Adeptus Mechanicus against your last army, what would your army consist of? Man. That's a good question. So if I'm playing Adeptus Mechanicus, what would I put into it? Okay, so things that I really like about the Adeptus Mechanicus army in line, I love those battle servitors. If I was playing against my last army, what did I play last? Is there someone what did I play last? Was it Deathwatch? Yeah, it must have been Deathwatch, I think. So like, let's say I was playing against Space Marines, right? So if I'm playing against Space Marines, it's Deathwatch. I would definitely include like anything that has like plasma. So like the plasma culveners, the large, like the battle servitors with the plasma cannons and stuff like that. I do really like those. Is that like hyper competitive against a good all-comers army? No, maybe not necessarily. But anything with high AP is good at shredding Space Marines. So look through the decks and find the things where you're like, oh, that's got a high AP, that's got a high AP, that's got a high AP. Shove it in there, and it's good at killing Space Marines, right? So especially with Armor Contempt now, you kind of need at least AP -3. AP -2 used to be good enough because you would drop a 3 up to a 5 up. It isn't anymore. So AP -3 now brings you from that 3 up down to that 5 up, and then they start failing saves all over the place, and that's just what happens. Alrighty, so that's what I would do. Find all the plasma you can find, make that happen. Alrighty, so the only thing easier to paint than Ultra Smurfs is Necrons. So I don't know how big of a compliment that is. Wow, look at that. We need to see more Kill Team after Arterius. Yeah, you're going to see some more Kill Team after Arterius. I'm not 100% sure. It might be after the holidays. However, you will see some more Kill Team. This is definitely our best performing Kill Team series, and we want to keep it that way. So we're going to just keep trying to make it better, and we're going to carry forward. It's going to be good. Alrighty, so question: would you rather play as Space Marines and lose, or lose to Tau, or play Tau and win against? I would rather lose as Space Marines any day. Tau, get out of here. No way. Space Marine Steve, your spielings about my Dark Angels. Dark Angels are awesome. Absolutely fantastic. So I am excited. So this is, I don't know how much we talk about it, but anyways, I've been sent some pictures of some Dark Angels recently, and the Dark Angels are looking real fine. So it's awesome. And I'm excited to play Dark Angels on the channel hopefully soon. They are a faction I have not yet played on the channel, along with a few of them, and I'm excited for any of the new factions that I have to, I want to get them on the channel. That's what I want to do. So that's all I'm really excited about. So does plasma taste like soda? No. If plasma does taste like soda, it quite definitely tastes like Mountain Dew. 100%. Mountain Dew. And maybe Diet Mountain Dew. And then like if you paint it red, it's code red, and whatever you paint it as blue, it's that blue raspberry one or whatever it is. I don't know. AOS when and why will is be Cruel Boys versus question mark. Will it be Cruel Boys? I mean, I don't know. I can make a lot of promises right now. You know what? Because I'm probably have no power over the situation, I think that it's going to be Sylvaneth, beautifully painted by Tack, and Skaven, beautifully painted by Nick. I don't know. I'm not really sure. It might be Cruel Boys. I have no idea. Anyways, yeah, Tack is going to paint a beautiful Sylvaneth army, and Nick is going to paint a beautiful Skaven army, and it's going to be ready for whenever we film AOS, which will probably be pretty soon. So, excellent. Yeah, I said it out loud, which means it's probably going to have to happen now. Yeah. Okay, great. Oh, I am going to talk about very quickly. So, I am going to talk about really quickly. So, Tack, he actually just brought it up right now. So with hitting the 100K merch goal, we are going to be doing as kind of a goal, a narrative burning of Prospero. So we're going to Horus Heresy. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to do a epic game that kind of retells the story of burning of Prospero. So we're going to have Space Wolves, the ones that got featured from us on the Warhammer community site. And then we're going to find someone with a fantastically painted Horus Heresy era Thousand Sons, and they're gonna duke it out. And so I'm super excited about that. I think that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, Mountain Dew kills faster. It does probably. Mountain Dew does kill faster, I imagine. So yeah, I think that's totally acceptable. I mean, does Code Red kill faster than Diet though? It's hard to say. And didn't they have like a blue one, like Blue Raspberry Frost or something? I don't know. It's really hard to say. Big narrative campaign? It won't be a big narrative campaign. I think it's going to be a giant narrative game. So that's really awesome. If you want plasma flavored Mountain Dew, they just released a new flavor called Flaming Hot. No way. What? No, they did not just do that. Absolutely not. Oh, Big Bad Space Wolf, thank you so much for that super chat donation. I really appreciate it. You help keep the lights on here, and of course, any donations from any of our fans, we are over the moon about, because it shows how much you support us, and it shows how much you care about what we're doing, and I think that's really what's important. So here we go. Okay, what is your favorite non-founding Space Marine chapter? My favorite non-founding, so we're talking like deep into the successors here. Oh man, there's like an undersea one which I find really fun. I think they're an Ultramarine successor or a Salamander successor. I think they're called the Krakens. I can't remember now. Well, now that I've been put on the spot, yeah, we have. Yes, we've already covered Chaos Space Marine versus Space Marines. It is totally happening. I am going to play it. I'm not sure exactly what factions I'm going to play yet. Part of me but you can put it in the chat. What do you think? Part of me wants to go something classic like Ultramarines versus Black Legion, I think that would be really sweet. I could also go really tongue-in-cheek, like you don't know which one of us is Chaos and which one of us isn't, and put like Alpha Legion versus Dark Angels. I think that would be a lot of fun too. So we'll see. So anyways, back to my question. Yeah, they're called Krakens, or maybe I think it's Dark Krakens actually, or something like that. Or yeah, and so they are like an undersea one, and they're instead of jetpacks, they've got like turbines and stuff, and their sigil is like a trident. And they're very, very cool. So I think that's someone said it. Dark Krakens are Salamander's successor. Perfect. Look at that. All right. So any chance we could see some Battlefleet Gothic at some point? Oh, that does sound really cool. That's something that if someone said it out loud, JT would lose his mind. So if we were all sitting around a table and someone said, want to play Battlefleet Gothic? JT would be all over that. So maybe we can convince JT to like hit that up one day. Nick could probably be into it too, let's be real. All right, Dark Angels versus Dark Angels. That would totally work. Luna Wolves versus Sons of Horus. Yep, all those are possible. Those are some good suggestions too, actually. Some really good suggestions. Alrighty, so let's go back into the chat. Alpha Legion versus Astral Claws. Perfect. Okay, the Dark Krakens are the ones who put bioluminescent stuff in their armor, right? I believe so. Yeah, I believe that it's all, because they live in like a, it's all, very, they live like deep water ocean, so it's pretty dark down there. All right, will Playon Tabletop the musical happen? Playon Tabletop the musical? That would be awesome. Nick, get up here, Nick. I love it. That's odd. We should do that, actually. That would be pretty sweet. Maybe like for an April Fool's episode or something like that, we'll do like a musical 40K and 40M where it's just all singing all the time. That'd be awesome. Even if it's only a few minutes or something, that would be sweet. I could totally do that too. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm into it. It wouldn't be probably 40 minutes. That would be a bit much, unless we're all into musicals. Oh, well, whatever. Alrighty, so we need a musical. Oh, then there's one. Oh, God, please no. Tack, please. Someone is begging. Tack! He's not here, is he? Oh, Tack, he is here. Someone's begging for us not to do a musical.
But I thought we were doing the musical.
Yeah, I thought we were doing the musical, too.
Script's being written right now.
Perfect. Script's being written. Can I do the music?
Well, you're the lead actor.
I'm the lead actor. You can only speak in singing? Yeah, that would be sweet. Oh, it would be horrible, but awesome at the same time. All right. Once we get Space Marine Steve versus Chaos Space Marine Steve, how long until we get Tau Nick versus Gene Stealer Nick? I don't know if that has the same gravitas. I mean, it does, sort of. But that would also be a lot of energy. Like, usually we pair players against Nick that tone it down so that Nick is up here and then they're kind of down here, and it smooths it out. Every time we've paired Nick against somebody who has the same kind of intense energy that Nick does, things get wild in here. Like the one time with Dave. When Dave was here and Dave played Nick, that was wild.
Dave says he wants to play you.
Dave does says he wants to play me. That is awesome. Yeah, I would love to play Dave. I think Dave and his Chaos Space Marines versus me and my Loyalist Space Marines would be absolutely fantastic. So I'm always down to play Dave. Right? We haven't actually played each other ever yet, so I'm very excited. Maybe one day it'll happen. Whoopsies. Let's go. Whoop. Oh, that's an okay roll. Okay, so I will sacrifice myself to corn if you do a musical. Oh, well then. I see. All right. Alrighty, so let's go back. Musical Pog. Can we see some Lamenters action on the channel? Oh, maybe one day. Maybe, we'll see. Emperor's Children versus Orcs, the musical. Oh, I can only imagine. Emperor's Children? Oh. There's an entire song about the joys of splitting fire and asking if things are thunderhammerable. Yeah, there would be probably an entire song about that. Warhammer, Warhammer 40K, the space opera. Oh, that's pretty, yeah, I like that too, actually. That's a good Warhammer 40K, the grim dark opera. I think that'd be sweet. I should really be more active on the Discord, which, if anyone is interested in being a patron, the Discord is very active. We are actually really active on Discord. It's one of the most active Discord communities that I think I'm a part of, period. So every time that I log on, every single time that I go into one of those channels, you know what? Like, there's always action, always people talking Warhammer and gaming. People share pics of people share. We'll just give this one more go. See, okay, it's a little bit better. People share pics of all their works in progress, of their finished product. It's awesome. So, you know what? Like, it's a special place, and it's a very supportive community. And honestly, like, it's been a dream to be a part of. So if you're not on our Patreon yet, and you really want to be involved in a pretty awesome gaming community, sign up and get in there, because it really is fantastic. When we can get some more of your touched dice, well, a little bit more is going. A few more packages of it are going up onto the Muse on Minis web store from this giant pile of dice I'm sitting in front of right now, and then after that, I'm not sure. I mean, this might be a one-off thing. It might be a carried through thing. I'm not 100%. We'll have to talk about that with Tack. I don't really know. I don't know how much he's really going to want me sitting here and just rolling dice for a couple hours. But I promised you that I would do it. And I'm also going to write a little note on all of them too for each of you. So it'll be a little on the personal side, which is nice. So good stuff. When, I'm not entirely sure when, but it will be soon. I'm sure you'll get notified of that on YouTube community or through Patreon or something, right? Alrighty. So Phantom of the Marines, yes. Dibs on playing the singing puppy. Ben. Okay. Nick's never, ever sick at sea. No, never. No, never. No, never. Hardly ever. Wow. I hate musicals, but I would definitely love that. Yes, that checks out. I'm into that. Okay, I will sacrifice myself to corn. I've already read that. Okay, here we go. Keep it on. To the tune of Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Can it eat my thunder hammer? Can it eat my thunder hammer? That was bad. I don't know. I propose an Exorcist's army on a mid-ground between Space Marine Steve and Kit. Oh, that's not bad, actually. Oh, wait, LOL, sorry, just got here. Steve, what would you play in a 1v1v1v1? The ones you don't choose, you'll play against. Adeptus Militarum. The ones you don't choose, you'll play against. Adeptus Mechanicus. So Guard, Mechanicus, Nids, or Krons. I would choose Guard. I would choose Guard, just because in a 1v1v1 game, a lot of the time, like if it's that multiplayer, there's usually a couple people that kind of get screwed, especially in the shooting phase. And so what takes place is if you're playing Guard and you could like sit in the back corner, you could just hit other players from like super far away, let them duke it out for a while, and then you just go up and take the rest of the board. So, all right, here we go. Are there plans to keep doing Kill Team? Of course there are. Kill Team is part of our bread and butter now, which is great. All right, Steve, how's life under your new CEO? Yeah. Life under I'm the new CEO. This is great. I'm loving it. I'm loving every single minute of it. Yeah. And if I had one wish as being the new CEO, it would be to let you know that even though we've run out of stock on some of the dice, we still have lots of stock of some of the other parts of the Level Up campaign. In particular, the exclusive tickets to the VIP showings of the live stream and that exclusive 40K in 40 minutes. So these are like VIP showings. No one else is going to get to see these. Only the supporters of the campaign that gets a hold of those tickets. So I know that they're $5 for the pair of tickets, and you get access to the exclusive live stream, and you get access to the 40K in 40 minutes that is just for those people. So if you donate and put yourself in underneath any of the tiers, really, but even if you just donate those $5 and you get those tickets, you're going to be one of the few people that get to watch episodes that we make just for you with all of the new upgrades that we make to the studio here. So that's going to be a really sweet deal. So if I had one wish as CEO, it'd be that all of you get to take part in that, because they're going to be quite something. I can hear Nick is probably just going nuts in the background right now, so excited about doing exclusive episodes of stuff. How about making an Emperor of Mankind model with the rules and throwing it against Oryx or something? Oh, that'd be cool. I always thought that it would be awesome if the Emperor of Mankind was a dreadnought. So like the golden throne was like a dreadnought. So he's there like all decrepit and whatever, and then like he's got this giant golden dreadnought. I think that'd be sweet. Hey Steve, you are handsome. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I think of myself as the poster boy of Play on Tabletop, so appreciate it. Chaos Titan for the musical. Chaos Titan. So for a second stream, our second stream was so awesome that the Play On team, to the joy of Tycho, has decided to get a Chaos Titan, and we are going to get and paint a Chaos Titan, and it is going to be quite something. So yeah, that is a thing. It's happening. How long will this stream go on for? I have no idea. How long have I even been on here for? Someone throw minutes. They just left. They've literally left me, so I don't know. My guess is until it maybe dies down, or until I finish these boxes. I don't really know. So we'll see. I'm not entirely sure. I imagine I'm probably going for like 45 minutes now, maybe. Something like that. So we'll see. Alrighty, here we go. So let's keep it going. Read this for no reason. No problem, dude. Just did it. Okay, great. We want more Star Wars Legion. It's coming. We have more Star Wars Legion coming down the pipe later on this year. So keep your peepers out and peeled for it. 51 minutes so far. Man, I could really use oh, that was rough. Maybe we'll just switch one of these out with this one. Yeah, that'll fix it. So I've been abandoned. I think it was this one and this one. Yes. Okay, great. Perfect. Poor Steve has been abandoned. I have. Yes. So this will go until I feel like it's over. I think that's really what it's about. Oh, man. Okay, here we go. Okay, will you ever play Salamanders again? You better believe I'm going to play Salamanders again. I'm going to play them all. My goal, I have a playable army for every single chapter that's represented in the books, and I will eventually play them all. It's going to take a little time. You know what I mean? Alrighty. Cast actors to play the 40K Primarchs. Ooh, including Angron. Oh, Angron. Maybe Angron should be... Angron, eh? Who plays Angron? I feel like it would be like... I feel like, honestly, it wouldn't be a famous actor that plays Angron. I feel like it would probably be like some MMA fighter or something like that. They just like, toss a bunch of makeup and prosthetics on him, and that's the way that it goes. And he just like rages for a while. I don't really know. All of them, I think I would love to see. I would love to see like Henry Cavill as Guilliman. I think he'd do a good job. Dye his hair blonde and go right for it. Angron equals Chef Gordon Ramsay. Awesome. Yeah, that would be sweet. Angron. Oh man, Chef Gordon Ramsay just lives life with a butcher's nail in his head. Not good. Not good. Alrighty. So, here we go. We're painting up more Votan for future episodes. Sweet. Awesome. I'm loving every minute of that. Bill Burr. Oh, Bill Burr would be a good Angron too, actually. That'd be pretty sweet. Actually, yeah, put your ideas down in the chat there. If you have any, that would be great. I think Paul Rudd would make one. I don't know why. He probably shouldn't, but I feel like Paul Rudd could maybe like play, I don't know, maybe like Korvax or something. Would be hilarious. Okay, anyways, here we go. Oh, Ron Perlman is Rogel Dorn. Yes, do it. Viggo Mortensen is Lionel Johnson. Oh, totally. That totally could work. Okay, I like it. I love it. I love it. That's excellent. Steve, would you allow someone to play with the team, or is that someone to play with the team, or is that impossible? Would I allow someone to play with the team? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. We'll plan on do a cross Canada tour. Ooh, visit game stores and stuff. I mean, maybe that would be a fun road trip. If I could get Tack to sit in a car with me for more than an hour, maybe. But something tells me that he's not gonna. What? No. Could you not hear it at all? It's fine.
We heard your belly.
My belly gurgling because I'm hungry? Because you didn't get me dinner? Nor a beverage?
How long are you going to be here for?
I don't know how long am I supposed to be here for? I got no instructions. It's just a list that says, don't make any unreasonable promises. Good luck. Anyways, Steve, what is your favorite color? I like blue or green. Well, apparently I go until this dies down, apparently. Whatever that means, it's hard to know. Okay, Aiden goes Batista, I love it. Danny DeVito as Kurz, awesome, yes. Danny DeVito as Kurz. All right, Mike is a bit muffled, sorry, we fixed it. I know. Tack exuding dad energy. Yeah, Tack does that around here sometimes. 17 hours of Steve. What if I go for 17 hours, Tack?
YouTube only records 12.
Oh, YouTube only records 12. So the best I got is 12 hours. So 5 in the morning, I guess, is the end time. But goodness, I hope not. I have to teach in the morning. When are you going to do the Wheel of the Warp again? I hope soon. I loved the Wheel of the Warp episode. That was awesome. Dwayne the Rock Johnson as Ferris Manus. Hells to the yeah. Blue green. Alfarius. Yeah, I could be. That's true. I am Alfarius. Hey, Steve, which chapter do you like the least? Ooh. Which one do I like the least? I don't know. I would probably swing with... Oh, there's good things about all of them. That's really hard. I would probably swing with... Maybe Raven Guard. But they have some really cool stuff. They're just... In the lore, they can be kind of babies about things, and I don't like that. And on top of that, too, like... The problem with the ones that have, in my opinion, with the ones that have all the black armor, so like Iron Hands and Raven Guard and Black Templar, many of them are very, very awesome, but I do find that in terms of their like quote uniqueness, not only having painted all 3, is it kind of annoying to be like, oh, they have black armor, it's like the same thing. But on top of that too, like, I just find that they're just, in some senses, some of the less remarkable ones. But this is like on a spectrum. Like I love them all. So like really, they're awesome. They're just not quite as awesome as some of the other ones that I like a little bit more. So, what are you gonna do? All right, you stay until the stream dies. Damn it, you stay till it dies. We need you to play some Horus Heresy. This is literally perfect for you. Space Marines win no matter what. That's actually very true, and I am making a Horus Heresy army. I love Horus Heresy era Imperial Fists, and so I'm making an Imperial Fist army. And on top of that, I decided to go using GW's new contrast paints with the Imperial Fist Yellow. That Imperial Fist Yellow is awesome. So I started experimenting with that a little bit, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited to throw some of that on the table one day. So it'll be cool. It'll get there. Takes time, but it'll get there. More Wheel of the Warp. Yes, it was awesome. I did love it. And they did kind of get mad at me. They did kind of get mad at me for like yelling that a lot. It was really funny. All right, here we go. So Benedict Cumberbatch might be a pretty sweet Magnus. Oh, that's true, actually. Benedict Cumberbatch might be a really good Magnus. That would be sick. What do you think about the Warhammer 40k collab with Magic? So I used to play Magic the Gathering a lot. I actually played it a lot ahead of when I first picked up like Warhammer. So I used to play it a lot. I've recently gotten, not recently, I got out of it before I actually got into Warhammer 40K. But do I think that it works? I mean, yeah, pretty much anything can be a Magic card, right? Like we could take celebrity chef Magic and that'd be fine. Like you could have the Gordon Ramsay deck, versus, I don't know, like the Bobby Flay deck or whatever. And I'm sure you could make it work. Magic is a very, like an overall universal, it's a good template. You can throw anything on, right? So, I mean, that was really bad. So, everything kind of works. So, it's good stuff. Alrighty, Dancing of Dune. I'm going to dip. Got to be up super early in the morning because military. Okay, that checks out. Have a good night, Steve. Yeah, you too, my man. Have a good night. Sleep safe. Alrighty, here we go. All right. Will you do a tabletop RPG mission or a custom table mission, but at Vermintide 40K, except one player would control? Oh, maybe. That's kind of cool. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Now everyone's just quoting Gordon Ramsay. Holy smokes. Will you Gordon Ramsay deck. I choose Idiot Sandwich. Awesome. Hey, Steve, what do you think about Grey Knights are kind of Space Marines? Yeah, and you know what? I do have some Grey Knights. Grey Knights are kind of Space Marines. In my opinion, they are definitely Space Marines. They don't necessarily follow like the Codex strictly, but they are definitely Space Marines. And they're awesome. I do like them a lot. I don't play them a lot. I have a very little tiny amount of Grey Knights, and I don't play lots of them. So, I'm like Grey Knight player light. So it's nothing that I play on the daily. But maybe I should get into it a little bit more. But we'll see. Will you guys be doing more campaigns like the stories that you can follow match to match? Yes. So we will be doing some more of those. We're taking a little break from them now. So we had Tomb World was a large campaign that we did first. After that, we clicked into kind of like these mini-series, and I really liked the mini-series, but the mini-series we started off with, like we had, Armageddon as a series, and then after that, we did Damocles, which was super awesome, and so, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. I think we will be doing some more. We do have, as Tax says down there, actually, we have big plans for narrative campaigns in 2023. And maybe I can tell you about them. I mean, maybe. Is it on this list? No, it's not on this list. So, I don't know. The only campaign that I can tell you about is the Level Up campaign. So the Level Up campaign, for those of us that don't know, is this great fundraising campaign that we've started. And it runs until October 31st. So you can go and check it out in our YouTube community section, find the links, and go over to Muse on Minis to find the site where you will be able to purchase and donate to our overall upgrading or leveling up of the studio, so we don't have cardboard on lights anymore. And we can make this a really fantastic space for creating content so that we can create one, better content, and then two, maybe some more content. So I think it's gonna be quite something. So Steve, is there a question you guys have had for us that you would like answered? Oh, that's a good one. Oh, another good one. Hey Steve, what's the worst? Let me think about that. I hate orcs. I hate orcs. Steve, is there a question you had for us? So let me think on that. I'll see. Hey Steve, what's the worst faction lore-wise? Ooh. The worst faction lore-wise, and I know quite a bit about lore, so this is all going to be opinion. Everyone's is different, by the way. So someone that might really dislike this lore or really, love or hate that lore or whatever, and Nick is going to hate this, but I think my least favorite faction in lore, it would be Tau. And it's not just because everybody hates Tau. Like, it's not that. I think it's personally, I think it's because in the grand scheme of things, they're just so small. Like their sept worlds are like in this little tiny corner of the galaxy, and yet like it's almost as if they're a giant piece of the story, which they aren't really, I guess. And I don't know. I've never quite really loved the different septs, and like, you know, they're always trying to negotiate and they try to assimilate, and it just, yeah, like it's not as epic as some of the other storylines. And so like where Eldar, for example, like, you know, they're the remnants of this dying great, you know, race in the galaxy. And, you know, they basically become like specters of their once grand kingdom. And it is, you know, it's really incredible lore. And Imperium also, like the Imperium and Chaos, like the lore is so rich. And for Tau, it just, yeah, doesn't feel as epic. So, you know, what are you gonna do? And it, you know, thinking that, you know, this is a fictional world where, you know, all the stories and the characters are epic, and it just doesn't feel like it's as epic. So that's part of the reasons I don't like it. That's the way that it is. Alrighty, Steve, have you considered a career as a TV shopping channel presenter? No, but that's actually probably not a bad idea. On that note, remember the Level Up campaign. You can go and for $5, you can get the tickets to our exclusive live stream, and you can get tickets to that exclusive Warhammer 40K in 40 minutes episode. So that is awesome. Go to the Level Up campaign. Make sure that you're in on that, because you will not be able to see that in any other way. So it's the only way to do it. Okay, whenever I see Tack moderating, I'm waiting for a warp storm for him to emerge. Thanks for creating great content, guys. Thank you so much, Fat Monk. I really appreciate it. Alrighty, so even the Fire Warrior FPS is about Space Marines. Yeah, it is. It totally is. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Their lore is not enough to even support a single game. What was your go-to Magic deck back in the day? I loved just mono green beat stick decks. It was awesome. And then I also played like blue-white control and stuff like that. A deck I could never quite get my hands on though was Red Deck Wins. I just couldn't do it. Just wasn't my jam. All right, that's not a heating element. That's a, oh my God. Sorry, Tack. Fulgrim. Yo, Steve, what is your favorite chapter gameplay-wise? I actually love them all for different reasons. I love all of them for different reasons. I think that they all have such cool, diverse, they all have such cool and diverse options. I think my least one would be actually some of the close combat ones. In particular, I love Blood Angels, really awesome, and they have some very cool units, but to play them like competitively, so I'm gonna talk from a competitive mindset for a second. To play them competitively, what you do is you're like, I'm going to take all these Sanguinary Guard, I'm going to take all these Vanguard Veterans, I'm going to take all these Death Company, and I'm going to put them here in your deployment zone, and you're just going to have to deal with it. If you can deal with it, great, I lose. If you can't, sweet, I win. And so it just doesn't feel like a back and forth. It feels like you're just putting them in the middle, seeing if your opponent can deal with it, and if they can't, then they lose. And that's just what it is. Right? It's cool every so often, but if I had to play that all the time, I don't know if I would have as much fun. Steve, how do you alter your list for Warhammer Tournament versus a 40K and 40M? I have a rule for myself with 40K and 40M, and usually, aside from troop choices, that rule is to play it almost like a Highlander. So what happens is I go, all right, if I'm going to play this list, I don't want to run 2 of something. I want to make sure that I'm running a variety of units. And what it does is it creates something in my mind that is like battle box style army, where you look down and it's as if I purchased it from Games Workshop, right? Tournaments often will have things like, you know, I'm running 3 of this and 3 of that and 2 of these, because redundancy means you're able to count on things, right? If you have 1 of something, right? You know, 1 is none, 2 equals 1, that kind of idea. So personally, I think that not personally. Yeah. What I do when I go into a 40K and 40M is I just tool down the list to be a little bit more interesting to watch, and less just redundant in some of its choices. But I also have started playing tournaments that way too. So playing with playon, now I've actually started to really appreciate building armies that way and trying to make them work. And I have honestly really enjoyed it. So, if you are a tournament player, almost create a weird kind of Highlander rule for yourself, right? It is a lot of fun and really challenging. It is challenging to play against armies that don't have that kind of rule imposed upon themselves. However, it is something that I really have enjoyed. So, see what happens. 9th edition is dead, long live 10th edition. Maybe. I mean, 9th edition is definitely, it feels like it's starting to wrap up. I don't obviously know, but we're coming in, almost all the codexes are out. So, I mean, this is effectively what happens. I mean, we can almost predict just based on what has happened in the past, what's going to happen next. So once Guard and, Demons are out already, once Guard and World Eaters and all that have come out, then okay, what happens next? Probably a campaign series, much like we had Psychic Awakening, back in the day. So, okay, could be a campaign series, and they could drag 9th edition out for another, 6 months to a year or something like that is possible. And it's also possible that, they could start redoing codexes, right? We could get, inside the same edition, another codex release, and, it would probably do a lot to the edition too. It's also possible they could just straight up slap us with 10th edition. And, as we've seen, 10th edition could be a full index sweep. So we saw it with the switch to 8th edition. What if they change the game drastically and boom, everyone's back to indexes, right? That could happen too. It's really hard to say. So I don't really know what's going to happen there, but it's going to happen. Maybe just a new core rules and we work with the same books. I don't know. Not really sure. Okay, so something that I do want to talk about. So something that we are going to do, because our campaign has done so well, we are also going to do an Into the Dark campaign. So this might be one of those things that Tack was talking about, and Nick, I know, is jumping up and down for it. So we're doing an Into the Dark campaign that is going to be a combination of 40K and Kill Team, and we're going to kind of put it together and really give the story the cinematic and epic feel that it deserves. So that's really, really cool. What else is there? So in the live stream, I'm super excited for Into the Dark. So I'll leave that. I am super excited for Into the Dark, and us doing a series here in studio makes me super excited. So I'm so jazzed, and I'm insisting that I'll be playing in it. I'm really insisting on that. So even though Tack, I'm sure, wants me to just stay home and do nothing, I will be definitely playing in that, and I'm so excited for it. Okay, Steve. What would you take for Tau to be interesting lore-wise and gameplay-wise to you? What would it take for Tau to be interesting? So there's two questions here. What would it take for Tau to be interesting lore-wise? You know what? I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really given that a lot of thought. The stories are really complex with all of the factions, and so it's really difficult for me to say, okay, what's one thing that will make it better? I don't know. Gameplay-wise, I would really love to see a crisis suit option that gives them some melee. It doesn't have to be crazy, just a little bit of extra, that actually lets them participate in a phase that is not just a shooting phase, right? And they also don't have any psychic powers, which I understand that's in the lore. I just wish that they could participate in some phase, right? I just want them to participate in more ways than one. And right now I feel like they just participate in one way. And so, let's shake it up, be interesting. I would love to see a bunch of, wouldn't it be wicked to see a big unit of crisis suits, all with giant electromagnet fists or something like that? I think that'd be sweet. So let's get some power gauntlets in there, and I think that'd be sweet. Alrighty, here we go. I need a new guard box. No! Who doesn't need the new guard box now? It's awesome. Steve, will you ever play your own guardsman army? I do have guardsmen at home, and I use them a little bit to like supplement with Space Marines, but they've made allying really difficult now, or just they've incentivized you to like focus in on one thing. So I'm doing that right now. I do have knights at home too, and I really like playing knights. But what are you gonna do? Tau need a complete Kroot sub-faction. Yeah, that'd be sweet. I'm all over that. I think I went more into the agenda of Watercast. It'd be interesting. They allude to something being messed up, but I haven't seen what. Yeah, I don't really know, to be real. Steve, that's a long enough break. Keep packaging those dice. Oh, yeah, you're right. I should definitely keep packaging those dice. All right. Yeah, honor gauntlets for everybody. Bye, y'all. See ya. Steve, Steve, are you a cat? No. Funny enough, no, I'm not a cat, although I do have cat-like tendencies, right? Steve, if you were born into Warhammer and could choose, what world were you born on and what world would you pick? Question 2, if you could choose your path into what unit you'd be, which could you pick? So I would go with Rin's world, because it is that is the homeworld of the Crimson Fists, pre-orc invasion. And the reason is because that is like an idyllic world. It's actually like it's almost like a paradise. And that's what's so hilarious about how they train Crimson Fists too, is their world is so idyllic that it's impossible to train a Space Marine there because it's not dangerous, anywhere near dangerous enough. So what they do is anybody that wants to become a Crimson Fist, they like pick up and like shoot off world, and then they go and like fight orcs way over somewhere else for a while, and then they come back to the fortress monastery that is like up on this giant hillside, and that is where then they become Space Marines. If I were to be a unit, honestly, like a tactical marine is a great way to start. So I would just go right for it. Plus, the tactical marine's the backbone of everything, right? You can do a little bit of everything. So I would, I like that. That's sweet. I would love to be, honestly, I'd love to probably be a Devastator. Hauling around those big guns would be sweet. Alrighty, so Steve, will you marry my mom? No, I won't. At least, no. I thought maybe it'd be like, not right now, but no, I'm hitched already, sorry. I apologize to your mother. I'm not going to marry her. It's just not going to happen. TAC's available. TAC might be able to do it. So, I don't know. Send TAC a message. See if he's available. Question. There's nothing there. Steve, have you tried Darktide? Are you into video games at all? Honestly, I used to be into video games big time, but with work and stuff, the only video game I get to play now is Zelda, and I am so pumped about Tears of the Kingdom. Holy smokes. So if you're not a big Zelda fan, you know it's coming, but if you haven't, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom are going to be a great pairing of games. So if you haven't played Zelda Breath of the Wild, go check it out because it is super awesome. One of the best Zelda games I've ever played. I love those puzzle games like that. It's a lighthearted adventure, so I'm digging it, all over it. Ew, anyone butt tax, sorry, my fault. That's rough, sorry buddy. But you know what, unfortunately I can't marry your mom. I'm sure she's a very nice lady though. So yeah. Alrighty, I like the idea of getting a few of you guys together to talk details and the up and downs of every faction, similar to how you guys do new codex reviews. Yeah, I mean, that's totally something. I know JT would be super into that. I'd be really into that. I even think that TAC would be into that too. He likes talking Warhammer. What do y'all do? So thank you so much for the super chat, David Maloney. Would y'all ever do strategy-focused videos or more in-depth plays? How to do? Thank you so much. What is this? What is this? Mr. Brown, Blue Mountain Blend iced coffee. I mean, okay.
It's all we got.
This is what we have?
It's the only thing left in the fridge.
It's the only thing. I don't know. Strategy-focused videos. You know what? It's something that we've talked about. However, You know what? There's so many really good strategy-focused videos out there right now, and there's lots of channels that focus on it specifically. And I honestly I don't know if we would do it justice in comparison to some of those other guys. I mean, maybe what do you think? You know, do you want to hear what we think about strategy? Do you want to hear what our thoughts are about it, or you know, do you get that fix from other channels? Play on Tabletop is kind of set out to do what other people aren't doing, and you know, if we have something to offer, then I think it's good that we offer it. So you let us know. There's my question. There's my question for all of you. Actually, it was asked a long ways up in the chat. Do I have a question for all of you? Okay, my question would be, what is something that no content creator is giving you right now? Tell us, like, if there's ever something where you're like, man, I really wish a video existed for this thing. What is that thing? You know, we see ourselves, you know, as pioneers of the content creation, as pioneers of content creation ecosystem here, and you know, we always want to stretch boundaries and add new ideas to our repertoire videos. So please tell us, like, what are you missing, and you know, can we give it to you? Alrighty, so all right, which loyalist prime arc do you think it is? Which loyalist one do I think is next? I've got two that I would love. First, I think Lionel Johnson is easy. That is not good. That is not good. Ugh. Anyways, Lionel Johnson I think is easy and could totally come back. And then something that I wish, and then a thing that I wish, so another sort of easy one is Into the Warp went Lehman Russ. And something I would love is I would love for him to come out of the warp, having no concept of how much time has actually passed, come out of the warp as like a big, like, kind of werewolf animal thing. And I think it could kind of trigger a lot of really interesting, like, internal strife for the Imperium, because maybe he like is fully you know, loyal, but his body has been just tainted by the warp, that he comes out like a big wolfen or something like that. And I think it'd be kind of cool. So here we go. Should Steve start talking? Oh, someone is somewhere looking at something. Go tack. Please vote. Yes! Oh, holy smokes. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Hot tub live stream. Sick. Let's do it. Hot tub. Alrighty, here we go. Alrighty, Steve, are there any factions that you want to have their own army/kill team? You know what? I don't know. I'm not sure. Steve, I'll think about that. I don't know. This is not a question, but you are one of my favorite people to watch. Thanks for everything, homie. Dude, no problem. Absolutely no problem at all. So you guys should run some sort of fundraising campaign to get better drinks in the office. I fully agree. That was gross. Steve, how do you keep your hobby motivation when life keeps you real busy? So I talked about it a little bit up there, and what I said was I wanted quality time. And so, you know, I set aside time every couple of days where, you know, like I talk to my wife and I go, all right, like, I'm going to take some time to hobby, and I block out an hour and a half, 2 hours somewhere in my schedule, and I make it a priority, right? And so this is one of those times where, you know, I may not get to hobby every single night, and I get that. I may not get to hobby every single day or whatever, but I do make sure that every few days or so, I plug in some time for me to sit down, crank some tunes, and paint. And so, you know, it's one of those things you gotta just kind of make time, right? But the more that you make time, the more that you just put some paint on your paintbrush and you paint, the more you'll find that rhythm, right? I find the longer I don't paint, the harder it is to get back into it. So yeah. Yes, we want your strategy, not what is optimal. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely talk to Steve is the most strategic. I'm actually pretty strategic. I would say I'm actually a pretty good player. I'm not by any means like a tournament champion or anything like that, but every opponent I play, I usually give them a good run for their money at a tournament. So I'm really happy with that. You know, I like it. Hot tub live stream, I love it. You set the bar. You've always set the bar. Thank you so much. You know, we try very, very hard to make that the reality. Steve, I care more about your opinions than those others. Well, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, my opinion is that this is garbage. This is garbage. So, thoughts on fun stuff? Yeah, we can talk about thoughts on fun stuff. That's great. Do you think we will get Lehman Russ as a playable Primarch? I think so. Like I said, I think he's going to be a big fat wolfen. It'd be sweet. I think streaming the co-op video game would be a nice break. Oh, maybe, yeah. Steve, hold up. From one teacher to one currently studying to become a teacher, any tips you can provide? You know what? Always learn. No matter what happens, always learn. Like, take literally every single day as a learning opportunity and a way to better your practice, right? So just reflect every single day. I started keeping like a little work journal where I write down, oh, this happened, and so this is what I think about it. And by just reflecting on the actions of every single day, you know, whenever you have an interaction with a student or parent or whatever, reflect on it. Did you do it everything the right way? And ask your colleagues, tell them, like, you know, hey, this happened today. How would you have done that? Think about what they say, right? And the more that you think of yourself as a constant student and less of like a I'm the teacher kind of mentality of you already know everything, like I'm a professional learner. I think that's my number one thing. Be a professional learner. And if you are a professional learner, then your students will be professional learners because you show them that that's the way that it should be. And honestly, my students are that same way, right? They don't see it as chasing a grade. We're chasing higher knowledge. When will the Thunderhawk make an appearance? Soon. It is a very hard model to build, but soon. Plan a list. Buy a War Dog relic or a Big Knight. Big Knight. Big Knight. Big Knight. Always Big Knight. Steve, with squats now on the table, what's next? I have no idea. I got nothing. I didn't think squats would ever come back, so I don't know. I got nothing. Y'all were the first battle royale per channel I watched during season 1 of 40K in 30 minutes, and it really ruined other channels for me. Well, cheers to that. Nope. No. It's like I go back and I think it's going to be better, and it tricks me, and it's not better. Steve, what 40K books do you recommend starting with? Eisenhorn is really good. You should just read Eisenhorn. That one's really good. Just read that one. That's awesome. I think mutants should get their own faction. Actually, you know what? Some of the Horus Heresy books, sorry, I'm going back. David, some of those Horus Heresy books are really, really good. The Beast is also a really good one. The Beast was good. I actually really like The Beast. Start there, that's fine. Any of them, really. There's no like bad place to start. I think mutants would get their own faction. Oh, yeah, okay. Underrated, yeah, okay. It would be funny if he walks out unchanged holding Parebo's head. Oh, yeah. Steve, mouth can move, but so can your dice. Oh, crap, the stupid dice. I'm forgetting the dice. This is bad. Ugh. Okay, here we go. So, keep packing, Steve, or you're never getting done. That's true, I won't. I've only got 2 more stacks here, though. That's it. Once this is, so this will probably be when the stream ends, when I finish this. Okay, so here and here. All right, here we go. Keep back and see. What is the book series you really love? What is a book series I really love? I don't like a lot of series. I love reading one book and having that story be kind of like all together. So I do read some series, but I really like standalone books. I'm a really big fan. And one that I read not long ago, actually, which was called Good Omens. And Good Omens was awesome. So they even have an Amazon series that you can watch of it too. It is really, really good. But my favorite book of all time is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That is hands down my favorite book of all time. I absolutely love it. So, hey, these are the things we have to sign?
Yep, get to work.
Oh. I have to sign these right now?
All of them.
What do you mean all of them?
You're barely ever here.
Yeah, but I got stuff I gotta do, dude. Ugh. All right. Okay, here we go. So, I gotta ship the t-shirts, but can you take some of these away? Okay. Steve, what Space Marine Army do you collect the most of? I have a lot of Blood Angels, but that's not really because that's not because I like intentionally started there. I just picked up a Blood Angels army and added, and then I've been adding to it, so I have the most probably of that. But it's hard to say. I kind of increase them all equally. Like I'll collect one for a little while, then I'll move over, and I'll collect one for a little while, and move over, and I'll work. Yeah. So, it's all a work in progress. Okay, so here we go. Alrighty. I think TAC is very subtly telling you to get back to work. Yes, I think TAC is not so subtly telling me to get back to work. Steve, do you ever think they'll make a Legion of the Damned actual list? Oh, maybe. They might bring it back. They might let it ride for a little while, kind of like they did, squats with Leagues of Votan, and then eventually bring it back as a codex supplement or something like that with a bunch of very specific models. So I mean, we'll see. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe. But I mean, well, yeah. I mean, it depends on the thing with Leagues of Votan is they knew they could sell it, right? They knew lots of people would be in on it. I don't know how much they really think that they could sell. I don't think how much they could really sell Legion of the Damned. So, I mean, we'll see. Maybe. Alrighty, here we go. So, Steve, do you know how to make Legion? Right, so are you guys loving Kill Team? Loving Kill Team. Kill Team is awesome. If you haven't played Kill Team yet, go and try it. Go and try it. I started Gaunt's Ghosts. Oh yeah, Gaunt's Ghosts it can get long, but it is really, really good. You're one of the few YouTube Warhammer influencers I would probably enjoy a game with. Don't know where the studio is, but definitely want to see more battle reports from you when Space Marine 2.0 comes out. Yeah, Space Marine 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, and all the other .0s of Space Marines that will always come out. I mean, I'm going to be playing them the whole time. And we are located in Vancouver, BC, British Columbia of Canada. So that's where our studio is. Steve, why did TAC trust you to do this by yourself? I don't know. He should know better. I think it was like some kind of weird punishment, but I mean, let's be real. Like, this is fine. This is just fine. No, it's not. It's not fine. I keep going back to it. Just because it's the only thing. TAC hasn't provided me any of the other sustenance. Alrighty, so we didn't think Steve would keep going and going and going and going and going. Yeah, but I am. Take that, play on tabletop. Wait, sorry, no. We admit there was no plan. There wasn't a plan. There was no plan for this. No plan. They just sat me down for all this stuff, threw a mic on me and hit go, and then they left snickering, thinking that they wouldn't go on for an hour and a half is what we're going on right now. So, what are you going to do? But you get to listen to me, and that's okay. Alrighty, just give Mubin a stick so we can poke Steve and get him back to rolling dice. Yeah. Can you come and get some of these dice? TAC! 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 Attack! What? Can you come and get some of these? These ones. Are these Jell-O shots? Yes. Are these pre-made Jell-O shots? I thought this was a kids show. Oh, they're just fruit jellies.
Oh, they spit at you.
They spit at you?
They're really messy.
Well, I'm not going to eat these then. I thought they were alcoholic. Can they be? I'm just going to put them back in here. Okay, anyways. Only fools have plans, 100%. Okay, Steve, do you feel about... Oh, hold on. Sorry. There's so many things. There's so many things. TAC. Yeah. Look at it. TAC. Hey, Steve, I've been collecting and painting since 2014. Ow. And I haven't ever gotten my first game. I got my first game this weekend. What point value? Honestly, play like 500 points. If you've never played before, play like 500 points just to get the rhythm of it. 500 to 1,000 points is right in that sweet spot. If someone says, let's play a 2,000 point game, don't do it. There's too much going on. Just throw like 500 points on the table and see what happens, right? Hey, Steve, I'm hoping to move to Vancouver next September for school. Sick. Ooh, places to say to play 40K near UBC. You know what? I don't actually have. I don't know. I'm nowhere near that area. I'm not 100% sure. What I would do is I would Google game stores around that area. I actually think that there is a Games Workshop not super far from there. So you might be able to get games like right at the Warhammer store or at Games Workshop. Tack has left for the night. You'd think you'd think so, wouldn't you? 2K is totally normal, but for a learner game, I would start a lot smaller and get the feel of it. Tack, why didn't you tell me I could hit Steve with the hammer? Moobin, you're not allowed. Damn it, Moobin. All right, play more Black Templar. I'll try my best. There's so many chapters, so little time. Okay, Loki, trivia time. What planet did Karn earn his title Betrayer again? Oh snap! I don't know. Oh no, I don't actually know. That's a good question. I can't remember. That's not you'd think I would know that. I don't know that. I'm sorry. I'm bad with the planet names. I imagine there's a number attached to it. Karnak 7. I don't know. I have no idea. I can't remember. I'm sorry. You're going to have to tell me. Play on Tabletop. How badly would you like to see Nick be made to play Eldar? I would love that. Oh, so on that note, thank you, Dr. Rhino. You're reminding me. Okay, so Nick lost the live stream. And what that means is that there's going to be a vote on YouTube community soon. Okay? YouTube community soon is going to vote on what army Nick is going to have to play next year. So, next season, Nick's going to play army. We're going to put votes up. I vote Eldar. Oh, yeah. Eldar all the way. He's going to hate that. Okay, great. Also then Tack, his crazy idea was to elect me president of Play on Tabletop for a short period of time. He says that I don't have any power, but I feel like I've got lots of power right now. I'm in control of whirling up and down this chat. I'm in control of putting dice inside bags. I'm in control of this stream, which makes me happy. So, we're working away, and I think I'm gonna serve you all well as president of Play on Tabletop. Although, as my first decree or executive order or whatever, no more Mr. Brown's coffee. It's a bad. Really bad. All right. Wicked. Okay, so there is. Here we go. Steve, how does Adeptus Mechanicus versus Imperial Knights and Deathwatch sound? I'd personally watch you play that. Yeah, I can play Imperial Knights and Deathwatch versus some AdMech. TAC does have a really beautiful AdMech army, we do have the studio Patreon community army for Deathwatch, and I also know that I've got some Imperial Knights at home. It'd be sweet. So, you know what? We might be able to actually make that one happen. All right, so what else is there? Steve, thanks for getting me into 40K through your boundless enthusiasm for Space Marine. Started Salamanders, yeah! And now have almost 3,000 points. Justin, this is music to my ears. Music to my ears. Justin, keep going. 4,000 points of Salamanders soon. That's what I hope. So, yeah, you know what? We at Play on Tabletop, literally when we first started this whole project, the whole point was very simply to inspire people to play. And we have done our best to do that. And the fact that this message is not unique. While it is special, it's not unique, right? Justin, I'm very happy for you, but what we have done for the community in general, getting more people into throwing dice, getting people excited about playing games, this is what we set out to do, and we're succeeding. And it's because of all of you. And the fact that you like watching us do this and you like participating, and we're starting to build a really fantastic and positive community that loves the game. And you know what? That's because we all love the game. That's exactly it. Alrighty, so where else? Would Steve pull a Fur the Emperor with the Steve Touch dice? Yeah, I can totally do that. 1 second. Let me do this. For the Emperor! Sorry, Tack. Sorry, whoever gets these ones, I'm so sorry. But in the bag they go. So these ones are spicy. There it is. Look at that. Just rolled it. So whoever gets this, congratulations. I have rubbed it upon my nipples. Not actually, though. There's a hoodie here, so, you're fine. But there's a little bit of everything in there for everyone. So, yeah. So anyways, all right. So here, I missed a lot. I'm so sorry. Alrighty. So does Chaos Steve predict, do a Chaos Steve prediction of season's kill team? Ooh. I think, based from Chaos Steve's perspective, I want to say that Rebecca and so Rebecca is a really good friend of mine, and her and I, we talk all the time. She really has loved learning how to play Kill Team, and this is one of the things, like, teach your friends how to play, like, make it interesting, go out and get them to play with you, and having Rebecca play with me has been just such an awesome experience, and getting her into the studio, meeting the guys, like, it's been fantastic to get her on camera, and she's loved it. And she messaged me not long ago. She messaged me and was like, "So, if I wanted to get into Kill Team, like, what would I have to do that? Like, where can I play and stuff? How much would it cost?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah," which means she's looking to fully expand her collection of Tyranid into something probably way more awesome. So I got a feeling that there's a 40K player deep inside of her, and we are going to coax it out. I think she's going to take it just on that feeling alone. All right. So Steve is finally our rightful king. Maybe. Proud of you, Steve. I'm doing great. I am doing great. I think so. And we have quite a few people in chat. Sorry, quite a few people watching, I believe. Please make Nick play Dark Eldar. Oh, I think that would make JT cry. I think JT would actually cry if Nick was on the channel playing Dark Eldar. If you had to swap a Lorios Legion for a Traitor Legion, which one would he choose? You know what? I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I'll have to think on that. Well, there goes the sponsorship deal, maybe.
Where is that been?
I don't know. Why? No, I mixed. No, get out of town.
We're really sending that to somebody.
We're sending that to somebody. Want me to do it again? All right. Do you have any advice for somebody wanting to play in a game store for the first time with strangers? You know what? Playing with strangers is always, especially like a pickup game at a store, you never know what you're going to get. Make sure you have the pre-conversation. Say, like, hey, this list is not a tournament list. Is your list a tournament list? Right? Make sure you have the pre-conversation of, like, I really want this to be a fun game. Let's play Tempest of War or Narrative, right? Or have the conversation of, I really want to practice my competitive list. The number one thing that always hurts is going into a game and then being surprised by the experience. And I don't want any of you to be surprised by the experience. Have that conversation. I always call it protect your fun, right? So if there's a certain way that you have fun, protect it, right? And don't do it in an aggressive way. Just say, hey, you know what? It's a really important for me if we have a competitive game, okay? And so I think that I want to make sure this is a competitive game, or it's really important that we have a narrative game, and please let's make it a narrative game. And it's a pickup game, so you can figure that out, right? Protect your fun. That's my number one. Okay, here we go. Nearly 6K in Blood Angel, Steve. Sick. Steve, I was in a hobby rut, and then after the Orcs versus Orcs battle report, I dug out the old Blackreach Orcs I had, and I'm now really enjoying the faction. Awesome. Black Reach was great. That's actually where some of my first Space Marines came from. So I played a little bit before that, but I really kicked in right at the beginning of 5th edition with that. So it's great. So if Steve not talking wins the poll, is the stream just him in silence, just packaging dice? Yeah, probably. Honestly, probably. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. However, it's 94% yes, no. So it kind of looks that, most of us just want me to keep talking. Why is watching Steve just talk and not really touch dice so captivating? It's 2:39 in the morning. Go to work. I mean, you can stay for a while. It's okay. It's okay. My dulcet tones just send you to sleep, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to say. Alrighty, so let us continue. Hilarious. Those dice are now premium dice. They are premium dice. I gotta catch up with this chat. Hold on. Okay. Steve Blam, thank you for introducing me to Black Templars. Definitely one of my favorite armies now. You are so flippin' welcome, my man. You are so flippin' welcome, Andrew. Black Templars are sick. Knights in space. It's awesome. What do you think they need to do to get Space Marines to a 50% win rate? I don't know. I'm not really sure, to be completely honest. It's hard because I actually think Space Marines are fine the way that they are. It's everything else that needs to come down. I don't want Space Marines to get better. I think everyone needs to dial it down a little bit. So, the more that they amp up, then it's just this cycle, this power. People call it like power creep, but what it is, it's like they go, all right, well, 2 wounds. Well, suddenly all the weapons then kill things with 2 wounds in one shot. It negates the whole 2 wound thing. So now we got to make everything stronger or tougher or stronger or tougher or stronger and tougher. We don't need to do that. Just find a place where it sits and it kind of flows, right? So, but sometimes it's hard to do in a game with so many factions and all that stuff. So, I understand why it's so difficult, but I don't think they actually need to do anything to Space Marines. I think they just need to take kind of the game and just settle it down a little bit, and let things kind of ride for a while too. That's what they kind of need to do a little bit. But what are you going to do, right? 9:45 in the evening where I am. Well, great. Are you enjoying Tempest of War more than Match Play? I don't know. Tempest of War is good. But I think I like Match Play more because I really like being able to plan my list into the missions. And so knowing what missions are going to be at an event, knowing what missions are in the pack, I like that. So that's a personal thing for me. But Tempest of War is also really fun. So, I'm all over it too. Those are not good. These ones are not good. But someone gets them anyways. Okay, sweet. Alrighty, here we go. Plan Zero, when are you going to get more Horus Heresy on the channel? Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. And of course, Burning a Prospero, because we hit that 100K in the Level Up campaign, that 100K is giving us Burning a Prospero. We're going to do this sick episode. Like hearing Nick talk about it earlier, he was literally foaming at the mouth. So 1, we're getting him checked out, don't worry. 2, I think it's going to be awesome. Okay? Rhino's here. Panic. Yeah, big time. Panic. I'm kidding. Okay, here we go. Loving Kill Team Season. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for being such a pleasant to watch 40K channel. You're so welcome. So welcome. Steve, if you had to restart your Warhammer collection and you only had $500, what would you get? Space Marines. I would probably get buy one of the Space Marine Christmas boxes that they have come out for I think they're in Canada $250 or something like that. I get one of those, and then I would get a combat patrol box and the codex, some paints, and that would probably be what I would shoot for. Just to restart that Space Marine collection because I love them so darn much. Okay, Innovade. I agree with great Steve, but I wish they reverted our nerfs. LOL. Yes. But what are you going to do, right? I do think Space Marines really are like right where they need to be. I don't think they need to be any stronger. I think everything else just needs to be tooled back a little bit. And I think that's going to be great. Space Marines don't need to be at the bottom. Thanks, Moobin. Have you played much Necromunda? I've actually played no Necromunda at all. So it's probably something I should do, actually. Kill Team content has been so good. Thank you so much. We are really like just trying our best to make Kill Team the best that it can be. Also, Moobin, thank you for giving me interest in Tyranids. Hey, Moobin, you're getting shout-outs on the channel, bruh. Also, can we get a report with you showing off Death Leaper? No, bruh. I'm kidding. I'm sure he'll play Death Leaper at some point in time. More salamanders on the channel. I will do my very best. I'll do my very best. I think he means Chaos Space Marines. Oh, maybe. Hiya, Steve and Tack. If you're hiding in there, he's somewhere. Just want to say thank you for all the great content and for you guys being awesome. Hey, you know what? Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Think about the bright minds. Yeah. Tack trying to... Should Steve start winding down? No. Tack's probably like, I want to go home. He thought this would be over probably like 50 minutes ago. Yeah, that's what he thought, right? And now that I'm complaining about food, it's even worse. No. Tack, order me something else, dude. Steve, I've been playing since 93. Woo, John, hot damn. And I am up to 6 armies. Do you have any advice on remembering the increasing complexity of army rules? Little note cards. That's what I would do. That's what I used to do, actually. There came a time where I actually wrote down all my units on these little flashcards so I could bring them to events and stuff and just be like, oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. If it works for math, it will work for Space Marines. Alrighty, Steve, if you could have any guest player on the channel, who would it be and why? Well, you know what? I just recently, actually, we were connected with an actor named Rahul Kohli from he was in like iZombie and Midnight Mass, and he's really awesome. And he's super into Space Marines, I've heard, and so we connected with him while he was filming up here in Vancouver, and I think it would be awesome to have him on the channel one day because I got to know him a little bit, and he's a super cool dude, and he's super into Space Marines just like me. So it's pretty awesome. I would love to have him on the channel. Aside from that, you know, honestly, just more of my friends. Like, this is a game that is best spent playing with your friends. So the more friends that I meet out in the gaming world and the friends that I have in my life outside of this, like, I would just love to have them all on because, you know, playing this game with friends is, you know, it's the best part of it, right? The models and the stories are awesome, but playing with friends is the best thing. For example, like Tack and I have a really interesting relationship, as I would say that we're definitely good friends, but we grind each other's gears quite a bit. But playing with Tack is, you know, some of the best games of Warhammer I've ever had. So, you know, it's not necessarily a guest, but it's always a really good time. If you weren't Space Marine Steve, what Xenos faction would you pledge your allegiance to? Orcs, 100% Orcs. It's super awesome. Steve, do you think that people who make their own custom armies with mold makers should not play with people who actually buy models from GW proper? You know what? Like, honestly, that kind of thing is all on the social contract that gets created. So when people 3D print models, or they create their own models, or they kit bash, or they whatever, if you're playing locally, like, and you're just playing with your friends, like, this is just a conversation to have. Like, hey, I made these models, you put effort into it, like, I just want to use it. And most of the time, it's fine. When you go to, like, larger tournaments and stuff like that, then that's a little different because the TO is in charge, right? And sometimes you need to kind of, you know, create this ecosystem of fair play, like, even though that's sometimes really difficult to do. Like, so do I think that there's like some kind of weird moral thing going on with it? No, I don't think so. I just think it, you know, the answer to that question is going to really depend on, you know, where you go. If you go to an event that's run by Games Workshop, they're probably not going to let you through the door, right? But, you know, it all just depends. The answer to that question is going to just change, right? And that's just something you got to, unfortunately, just live with, right? How far away from getting painting tutorials? Oh, probably soon. I have to keep rolling dice. Soon, maybe. I don't know. You're gonna have to ask Tack that question. To be completely honest, I don't actually know. Oh, that's so nice, Steve. Keep rolling dice, he says. Oh, this is actually a really good one. There's like 6 sixes. There was like 6 sixes in there. That was pretty good. Alrighty, so let's keep it going. Yeah, we need to create a petition so Cavill will play with us. We do, actually. Yeah, we do. That would be awesome. I'd be all over that. Cavill would be sweet to have in the studio because I've seen him talk about Warhammer and it's sweet. So it's awesome that he loves it, and we would love to have him on. Hopefully this message reaches him one day. Because I actually am a big fan of his work too. Like being an actor, like I acted for a lot in university. I was in like some small indie films. I acted a lot on stage, and now I teach performing arts, which is fantastic. So I know I absolutely love it. So it would be great even just to get to talk to him a little bit about his acting experience. Would be something I would be so interested in. Alrighty, so let's keep it going. Touch more dice, Steve. I'm working on it, fellas. I'm working on it. Hi, Tack says. Hi? Tack? Hi? What? Anyways. Steve, what's your favorite thing to do on stream? Answer questions, roll dice, or answer questions and roll dice? You know what? I don't know, man. I'm tired. Answering questions and rolling dice is fun. I like to do all of this stuff with all of you. I'm down to talk and chat all night long. I am down to roll some dice. I'm down to do whatever. So, being a part of Play on Tabletop has been a great experience. And whether I'm just here answering some questions, whether I'm here rolling dice, or I'm doing both, I'm in my happy place, right? Alrighty. So, Steve, for the Brain Row, you need a Henry Cavill for the Custodes. Ooh! Henry Cavill Custodes. I know he'd be all over it. What grade and subject do you teach? I teach performing arts at the high school level, so grades 9 through 12. All right, so let's go. Not fast enough, Steve. Faster. I'm working on it. I'm editing 2 shows that release later this month, so Steve, you can do all the talking. I'm okay at it, not good at it. Huge fan. Thanks, dude. Thanks for introducing me to Warhammer. You are so very welcome. I hope you have a great time talking in chat. See you later from the guy from Hayden. All right, Hayden, have yourself a great night. All right, can I get a Wheel of the Warp? Yeah, you totally can. I do. When I started saying that, like everyone just lost their flipping minds. It was awesome. Space Wolves or Dark Angels? I don't know. Space Wolves are really cool. Space Wolves are really cool. I don't really know. I'm not really sure. Steve, those dice are supposed to be color-coordinated sets, right? Not mixed? I believe that they're mixed. I believe you get 4 of each. I believe that they are 4 bright and 4 dark. If not, Tack is going to be sifting through this later. And, he's going to be sifting through these later and spreading them all apart. That's what he's going to be doing. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm out. I'm done. So we'll need to get more bags. Okay, great. So, all right. So let's. You know what? It has been. Can I go home and just let Steve out in the morning at this rate? No, you cannot. You're not. As long as I'm here, you're here. That's the way it goes. But it has been 2 hours. Okay. So I do think that I'm gonna have to start to wind up here. I've packaged all the dice that need to be packaged. I do have some board tops to sign, but I gotta actually practice my signature is what I'm gonna have to do. Man, I got Space Marine Steve. Tack is gonna murder Steve, I know. When's the how do you pledge yourself to dark powers that are playing Space Marines? Oh, I have no idea. How do you, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think of that. My mind is turning to mush now. There's so many questions. Tack is gonna murder Steve. Yes, he will. I've already said it. I agree. The quiz game was a blast to watch. It was actually. The quiz game was awesome to watch. Steve, what's your favorite piece of lore? You know what? That's actually really hard. You know what? I absolutely love dreadnoughts, and the reason I love the dreadnoughts is because the dreadnoughts get put into this like sarcophagus, like the Marine gets put in the sarcophagus, slapped inside that machine, and they can't feel a thing. Spoiler alert: if you have not watched Angels of Death yet on Warhammer Plus, I'm so sorry. So if you have not watched it, pause this video, skip a little bit. I'm just going to tell you something of one of my like favorite parts. In the show, they awaken this dreadnought, and the dreadnought gets mauled, and part of his sarcophagus gets ripped open, and the tech marine runs over to him and tries to piece him back together, and the dreadnought, says, "Stop, brother," and stops the tech marine. The tech marine says, "But you'll pass away. Like I have to keep working." And he says, "No, just let me feel the cool air again." And it's where it really and truly clicked to me that like being inside one of those machines is actually like a sensory deprivation. Like there's nothing. You don't feel a thing. So even as he was laying there, like, and the cool air was brushing upon his body, it was one of those things where it was like, wow, yeah, like inside that metal box, he really felt nothing. And even just a cold breeze in his dying moments was something to take pause. And it was awesome because Space Marines aren't really human anymore 100%. And it's awesome sometimes when they have those moments of humanity. And it's those things that make me, you fall in love with it. That sense of brotherhood that they have, nobility, and it's just a great story. So it's excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna answer 3 more questions. If you have questions, toss them in the chat right now. Throw them together. I'm gonna randomly pick 3 from all the ones that are up here, and yeah. And then we're gonna wrap up because I know that I am also very tired and I gotta get up early for work tomorrow morning. So before I say goodnight, 3 more questions. Fire them up. I'm just gonna drink this horrible beverage and give it a sec. Okay, here we go. So, all right. Oh man, there's so many questions. Holy smokes. Favorite pizza toppings? I see one. Okay, honestly, pepperoni. I love a good like double pepperoni and cheese pizza. If they've got good pepperoni, man, is it ever so awesome. I love it. Okay. Here we go. Whoa, this, Jill, I will answer this question. You have copy and pasted that thing like 5-6 times? All right, so Jill, this is to you, okay? Jill, hi Jill. Here's the question. Will you make a costume Black Templar, but they're just the Templar in real life transferred to 40K? Please. This is my mom account. Do not judge. Oh, you're not Jill. Okay, great. Not a problem. Will you make a costume Black Templar, but they're just the Templar in real life? I'm not really sure what that means. What does that mean, Tak? I would make a costume. Maybe I make a costume of a Black. Do I make a Black Templar model like a costume like out of cardboard or something? Hey, what the? He's shutting off the lights. Oh no. Okay, and then stop turning off all the lights. Seriously. Why are all of you blessed with such great facial hair? I don't know, actually. Dude. Okay, anyways. Hey, yes, your mom, I meant army. Oh, will I make a Black Templar army? I do have a Black Templar army, and I love it. Okay, custom. Yeah, not a problem. I get it. Sorry I botched this last question. I apologize, not Jill. Alrighty, so I apologize, Jill's offspring. That's my fault. Alrighty, cool. Here we go. What army do you want to see more of on the channel? Great question. I want to see more Space Marines. That's what I want to see. So, more Space Marines all the time. I'm absolutely loving it. So, here we go. Thank you all so much for the fantastic work that you do to keep our lights on or off here in the studio, actually, funny enough. And thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for everything that you do. This has been Space Marine Steve. And until we see you again in the grimdark universe of this far-flung future, play on.